Abraham Lincoln, the dark legacy of the great emancipator. He's remembered as a savior, a liberator, a national hero. But what if history got it wrong? What if the man carved in stone carried blood on his hands? This is the untold story of Abraham Lincoln, the tyrant behind the myth. The myth of the emancipator Abraham Lincoln is hailed as the Great Emancipator, but he did not believe in racial equality. In fact, he openly stated that black Americans were inferior to whites. In 1858, during the famous Lincoln-Douglas debates, he declared, "I am not, nor ever have been in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the white and black races." He also supported colonization, the forced relocation of freed slaves to Africa or Central America. Freedom to Lincoln meant expulsion, not equality. His Emancipation Proclamation? It only freed slaves in rebel territories, not in the border states loyal to the Union. In short, it was a military tactic, not a moral stand. The blood price of Union Lincoln waged the deadliest war in American history. Over 620,000 Americans died, many of them young men, barely adults. He was warned that reconciliation was possible. But Lincoln chose war. He allowed the scorched earth policy. He gave generals like William Tecumseh Sherman free rein to burn entire cities, destroy crops, uproot civilians. The goal? Crush the South into submission, not liberate it. This was not just war. It was total devastation. A president who silenced dissent during the war, Lincoln suspended habeas corpus, the right to a fair trial. He authorized the arrest of thousands of citizens, newspaper editors, lawmakers, critics. One man, Clement Vallandigham, a former congressman, was arrested and exiled simply for criticizing the war. Lincoln's administration shut down newspapers, intimidated opposition, and used military courts to bypass civil law. Free speech died under Lincoln, and no one dared speak up. The mass execution of Native Americans while the nation focused on war, another atrocity unfolded. In 1862, after a conflict in Minnesota, Lincoln personally approved the largest mass execution in U.S. history. 38 Dakota Sioux men were hanged. After rushed military trials, some lasting just minutes. The real cause of the uprising? Broken treaties, stolen food, and years of betrayal by the U.S. government. But Lincoln made no move to address those wrongs. Instead, he sent a message. Revolt would be met with death. War profiteers and political calculations. Lincoln's administration was rife with corruption. War contracts were handed out to political allies. Suppliers sent rotten meat, faulty weapons, and inflated invoices, and the government looked away. Lincoln needed political support, so he ignored the rot within. He also reshaped his positions for political survival. He began as a moderate, but shifted, molded, and manipulated his platform to stay in power. To many, Lincoln was a master politician. To others, a man who put power above principle. The Constitution in chains under Lincoln. The Constitution suffered. He expanded executive power, unilaterally declared war without congressional approval, and used the military to suppress domestic unrest. He arrested Maryland legislators to prevent the state from joining the Confederacy. He even had judges threatened and intimidated. In many ways, Lincoln ruled by emergency decree. He was not a guardian of the Constitution. He was its greatest violator. The price of the presidency. By the time Lincoln died, the country was broken, torn in pieces. Over 1 million lives lost or maimed. The South was devastated. Its economy in ruins, its cities burned, its people starving. Yes, the Union was preserved. But at what cost? Slavery ended, but not because Lincoln cared about black freedom. It ended because it became strategically convenient. Abraham Lincoln's image looms large. Marble statues, schools, currency. He is revered. But history is not a shrine. It's a mirror. Behind the polished legend is a man of contradictions, of violence, of political games and broken principles. He spoke of liberty, yet crushed it. He spoke of unity, yet waged war to impose it. Abraham Lincoln was not a saint. He was a man, and one whose legacy demands scrutiny. The truth is darker than the myth, and perhaps it's time we finally told it.